The movie begins when we see a man hanging from a rope carrying a child. The building from which he's hanging is on fire and he's trying his best to save the child. He works in the fire brigade and is trying to save people from the raging fire. His fellow firemen try to catch him, but unfortunately the rope he's hanging with catches fire and the man falls with a thud on the ground. Surprisingly, he feels nothing and is quite okay even after falling from a skyscraper. The child he rescued is also hale and hearty because he fell on that man. The child then rises and joins his parents. The man then approaches the child and his parents and asks for the name of the child. Strangely, it seems that the couple and the child don't notice him, let alone answer him. It seems as if he's invisible to them. The man is confused to the core when suddenly he hears someone calling his name, Kim. He turns around and finds a young man with a young lady calling out to him. They both smile at Kim and are elated to see him. Kim looks to the other side and finds his fellow men carrying his body. It dawns on Kim that he is actually dead and now Kim is a soul or a ghost. The young man and woman are able to see Kim and the young woman looks at a card of Kim's and says that Kim is special as he is a paragon. The paragon is actually an ideal or a role model soul which is very unique. The lady then explains that now Kim has to pass through 7 different trials and has to complete them in 49 days. The lady further explains that if Kim passes all 7 tests he would be awarded a new body as a reward and then Kim will be reborn. The lady tells Kim that the young man and she are actually guardian angels and there is one more guardian angel who is their boss. The 2 guardian angels take the souls to the next world while their boss goes to the place where the last rites of a deceased take place. The young lady's name is C, the young man's name is B and the boss's name is A. Kim is really distraught about his death, as he wants to meet his mother, but the guardian angels warn him that after death he cannot roam freely on earth. Then B opens a portal in the sky and transports Kim through it to the next world. Soon Kim reaches the next world with his angels. Over there are a number of souls, but the most revered soul is Kim's because he's the paragon. However, in order to prove himself as a role model he has to go through 7 different trials. All 3 guardian angels A, B and C also accompany Kim. First of all, they go through the hell of murder. In this trial only murderers and those people are present because of whom someone was killed. Kim then looks below and sees a charring lava boiling furiously. In the lava millions of souls are stuck who have been punished for their vicious acts. The god of murder appears with 2 of his subordinates. One of the subordinates says that many years ago a building caught fire and a colleague of Kim got stuck in the fire. Now Kim could have risked his life to save him, but he preferred his own safety, which took the life of his colleague. The second subordinate confirms that Kim has committed murder and should be punished for 50 years. The god of murder berates the subordinate by saying that he should be more respectful toward Kim as he's a paragon. The subordinate then says that Kim should be awarded a 5-year sentence. Guardian A comes to Kim's rescue and says that when Kim's colleague's foot was stuck under a massive rock at that time Kim was present with him. He was trying his level best to rescue his colleague. But then a cry for help was heard from somewhere. The colleague begged Kim to rescue the person in distress as this rock was impossible to budge. Kim then rescued that other person along with 8 other people. Kim then wanted to save his colleague as well, but by that time the whole building had collapsed and Kim cried helplessly. The god of murder declares Kim innocent and passes his first trial successfully. Now Kim and his 3 guardian head towards their next trial through a boat. Kim's next trial would be held in front of the god of indolence. The trial is for lazy people. Kim then asks his angels why they are helping him out. Angel C replies that King Yamura, who is the supreme god of death, has promised them if they help 49 souls get through the 7 trials successfully and help them to reincarnate on earth, they would be awarded a new life on earth as well. However, the condition is for each soul they could only take 49 days to complete the process and not more than that. However, the guardians explain that only a paragon can pass its 7 trials successfully in 49 days. Earlier the guardian angels had helped 47 souls pass their trials successfully and now Kim is the 48th soul. Kim says that he has no intention to reincarnate, but Angel A says that this is not for him to decide, only King Yamura decides the fate of the souls. Kim is presented to the goddess of indolence on a water raft floating in a river and a whole reel of his lifetime of achievements and hard work is played before her. She gives Kim a standing applause and is impressed by him. She asks Kim how he managed to be so active and effective. Kim replies that he did it all to earn money. This infuriates the goddess and she says that money is Kim's god then. The goddess then awards Kim with punishment and his raft is about to move back towards a waterfall where millions of other souls are going through their punishment. However, Angel A and B rescue him again and defend Kim that he had never in his life shown indolence and worked hard day and night. He drove cars, he cleaned, and he worked as a fireman, and yes, he did need money for all his toil, but the money was not needed for his own fulfillment. The money was required to aid his ailing mother and to pay for his little brother's education. The goddess then gives her verdict and declares Kim innocent. In this way Kim goes through his second trial successfully. Now the four of them set out for the third trial called Hell of Deceit. Here those people are punished who are dishonest and deceive others for personal gain. While they move through a forest they're attacked by a number of vengeful spirits. Guardians are stupefied because before that they haven't experienced such an ambush. Guardian Angel A says that perhaps someone in Kim's immediate family has died unethically on Earth, and the revengeful soul of the deceased is eager to avenge his or her death. The Guardian Angel further says that it would become impossible for Kim to survive further trials if this case remains unresolved. So Guardian A sets out to check out what was wrong on Earth. Meanwhile Guardian Angels B and C take Kim toward his next trial. Here Kim is accused of deceiving his late colleague's daughter to whom he wrote letters by pretending to be her late father. He hid the news of his death from his daughter. When the colleague's daughter learned about the news of her father's demise she was very distressed. Kim is also accused of lying to his own mother that he is already married and has a child although he was still single at that time. Kim left his house 15 years ago and never returned. Kim is asked to defend his lies but he's unable to. Kim's whole body is captured by treacherous weeds that try to engulf him and his tongue is about to be chopped off. Guardian Angel C chips in and says that Kim lied to his colleague's daughter for a reason. At that time when Kim's colleague died the colleague's daughter was very young and was still studying. Kim didn't want to disturb her studies so he wrote letters to her so that she could be happy and concentrate on her studies. However when she grew up then Kim told her about her father's demise because by that time she was mature and her studies were completed. For the same purpose he wrote letters to his mom because she was ailing and when she came to know about his marriage and child she started to get better. So Kim basically told white lies which were to give relief to his loved ones. Kim passes the trials with flying colors and he heads toward his next trial with Guardians B and C. Guardian Angel A goes to Kim's place and finds out that Kim's mom is perfectly okay. However his younger brother Jin has passed away. Guardian A uses his powers to locate Jin's soul and asks him about the place where he died. However Jin's soul flees and Guardian A tries to pursue it but in vain. Then he uses his powers to transmute in the past to find out the cause of the death of Kim's brother. Guardian A sees that a friend of Jin's tries to hug Jin to console his late brother Kim. However he accidentally fires a gun toward Jin and Jin falls to the ground. When their senior appears suddenly he sees a badly injured Jin and berates his friend. However Jin dies immediately. The senior then thinks for some time and tells Jin's friend that they have to dispose of the body as soon as possible. The senior is doing that selfish act because next month he would be awarded a promotion and such an incident could be a hurdle. They both bury Jin's body in the dark jungle and do not perform his last rites and nobody knows about Jin's body or whereabouts. The next day some military men inform Kim's mother that her son has vanished suddenly, maybe left his job abruptly. Meanwhile Guardian Angel A is watching the whole scenario and is vigorously searching for Jin's soul. He then uses all his powers to capture Jin's soul and orders him to follow to the next world. Guardian Angel A assures him that if Jin follows his orders he would be reincarnated. Jin says he has no interest except in avenging his murder. Guardian A says that if he didn't come to the next world then Kim wouldn't be able to survive his trials. Jin becomes infuriated and says he doesn't care about Kim because he abandoned Jin and their mother 15 years ago. Jin says then when he was being buried he was still alive. When Jin reveals this Guardian Angel remembers his own past when he was alive it seemed that he is relating his own life with Jin's. Guardian A takes Jin to his mother's place. Jin sees that his friend is all drunk and gives his mother a map in which it is marked in red the place where Jin is buried. Jin's friend really loved Jin a lot and he's really guilty about accidentally killing him. Jin's friend then tries to commit suicide by hanging from the rope. Jin begs Guardian Angel A to help his friend. At first the latter is reluctant but then Jin coaxes him that if he helped his friend then Jin would follow his orders as well. Guardian A then uses his powers to cut the hanging rope and saves Jin's friend's life. Meanwhile in the next world Kim has successfully passed his 3 trials and is up for the 4th. However the 4th trial is the Hell of Injustice and the 5th one is the Hell of Betrayal. Both trials do not apply to Kim as in his whole life. As in his whole life he hasn't committed a single deed that signaled injustice or betrayal. So he directly jumps toward the 6th trial that is the Hell of Violence. Here Kim is accused of the time when he assaulted his younger brother really bad knowing that Jin was ill at that time. Now here Guardian Angels B and C are also helpless because there is nothing to defend. But then Guardian Angel A communicates to Guardian Angel C and orders her to ask the God of Violence for the final verdict. So follows suit, and even the god of violence is a little taken aback because the final verdict means the final decision, and if Kim is found guilty in the final verdict, then along with Kim the guardian angels would be harshly punished. The three then head toward their final trial called Final Impiety. On Earth, Guardian A performs the last rites of Jin, who turns into a nice-looking soul from a vengeful spirit. In the next world, Guardian Angels B and C travel through a desert, and then both guardians ask Kim whether he actually tried to kill his own mother. Kim affirms and says that 15 years ago when his mother got really ill they didn't have money to buy food, let alone medicines. So he tried to stifle his mother with a pillow so that her pain and agony ended. After that he planned to kill his brother also, who was ill from starvation, and then in the end planned to kill himself as well. But when he was trying to kill his mother, Jin tried to stop him, so he beat him really badly. After that, filled with guilt, Kim left his home abruptly, never to return. But still he never broke ties and sent them money and letters. Meanwhile, when Jin and Guardian A reach the army base, they spot Jin's senior, who was brutally harassing his mother. Filled with rage, Jin tries to bring a tornado but abruptly stops when he sees that in the next world Kim is dunking in sand. This is happening because he's being unethical on Earth. This showed that Jin hasn't forgiven Kim yet. He then leaves. The idea of killing his senior. Kim is then presented in front of King Yamura. King Yamura reveals to Kim that when he was trying to kill his mother she was wide awake and pretended to be asleep so that Kim could kill her and be free forever. When Kim learns the awful reality, he is devastated and begs King Yamura for harsh punishment. When the subordinates are about to announce his punishment, a vision appears in front of them on the sand of the desert, revealing that in the past when Kim visited his mother he told her the truth about how wanted to kill her. Kim's mother heartily forgave Kim for his misdeed as she knew the circumstances herself. When King Yamura comes to know the reality, he states that on Earth if a person's misdeed is forgiven, then in the next world that person can't be punished. Jin also forgives Kim heartily. So in this way Kim passes his 6th and 7th trials as well. King Yamura announces that now Kim can reincarnate on Earth. With this his soul begins to glow with virtue and piety and he disappears. Back on Earth, Angels A and B show a paragon card to Jin, as now he would be the 49th soul that would pass the 7 trials with their help. And then all 3 guardian angels would get the chance to reincarnate as well. That's all for now. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.